Stand to McWars, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we continue the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And the last time the Emperor finally took the field and was able to completely wipe out 3 different targets in a single turn. It was glorious, it was beautiful. I look forward to being able to do that quite often with this, well, BattleTech. So we have a couple more things to get done on this planet. If we get down 2 missions, that'll be the end of it. If we only get 1 mission, that'll also still be the end of it because of what we're currently looking at. So we're going to be taking a 3.5 skull capture base mission, 3 of 13 priority salvage, 388,400 C-bills, and we're dropping down with the entire lance. Why? You limit damage if you come in maximum force. You come in light force, and suddenly you realize that you've just utterly been swarmed. Alrighty, so we do see the targets already set up here. There is an eliminate base turret current objective, and those would be somewhere located in here. We're looking for pillars around the area. Not really seeing them, but it's not super important. What we could just do is flatten the base entirely. Coach, probably not going to see a target on turn 1, which is good, actually, because I don't want to be visible on turn 1, nor turn 2. So we're going to slip in over here, get ourselves into the alleyway. Sensors obviously not working, unfortunately, because of the turn 1 spawn protection. Our Thanatos, on the other hand, can start opening fire. We would actually kind of like the mech to be somewhat close, so I'm going to start sprinting him as well. See if we can get him in a position to provide that awesome fire support that we need to do. Set up our MMLs, and then prepare to attack ground. I'll shoot right here because apparently there's a target there. So single indirect, minus 15, but hey, who cares? We're going for area targets anyway. The Onager is up as well. Could also go for an area target. I mean, it does have Hydras, but it's not really what I'm planning to utilize it for. I'm going to sort of move it forward. It has an ability to go left or right, depending on how things shape out. 65-ton catapult suddenly charging on top of you seems to be quite deadly. We may have gotten a little bit too relaxed in terms of what we think of the catapult, because at the end of the day, a catapult is still a 65-ton heavy with jump jets and missiles and just all kinds of deadliness. So the Mark III catapults have kind of spoiled us on that measure. The Axeman has continually been downgraded. As you may have noticed, it is no longer carrying its spiked helmet, as we have cannibalized it. It is becoming less and less of an effective mech. However, we're about 4 days away from having the replacement ready to go, so I'm not all that worked up about it. No target, obviously, so we're just going to leave it done. But yeah, the Axeman is becoming weaker and weaker, and as its strength is sapped away, the Black Knight becomes more deadly. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure that in 7 days the Black Knight's done entirely, and then it'll be fielded on its first operation. We'll see just how much damage we can actually, cram in on top of something. With the pair of the twin hatchets and all of the additional improvements, the upper spikes, which we cannibalized from the X-Men as well. Hopefully it'll all work out nice. Mockingbird is up in the Mackie. And the Mackie will just shift on forward. We will lay a shell right on top of this little poor warrior helicopter. Indirect sniper. And a significant amount of damage done right there. A little disappointed it's not dead, actually, because that would have been awesomely cool. But yeah, as you can see, the armor is basically gone. They're not going to be fighting us with a particularly large amount of firepower, so we should be able to wipe them out without too much effort. At least that's the plan. You never quite know where it's going to all go out to. Incoming missiles, but it's not working out. Oh, they actually managed to hit us with some heat. Good job. I have to give you credit for that. Credit where credit is due. So let's make sure that that doesn't happen again. AMS to overload, Shobo to overload, Mockingbird to overload, and I think that's it. Wait, nope. Almost got a Death Crusade. There we go. Maximum overload. I would like to get a target on that warrior. I'm just not certain where I can get one. That will do. Probably not a great shot. 22s, but we're going to lob anyway. Oh, that's the hybrid carrier.
Negative damage.
Oh, we actually need to kill that. That's probably where all the fire came from, and we want to shut that down immediately. So we did take this one for salvage, which means we are kind of on the lookout for mechs. Right now we see, a couple of carriers, which is not exactly the biggest deal in the world. But if we see any mechs, we can completely wipe them out. Okay, got some cannon. Ooh, we got a big artillery cannon dropping.
Okay, that was bad.
So who was that? Oh, it is the Marauder LT. I'm probably actually going to steal him this time. I have been holding off on stealing a long-tom cannon for so long, but you know what? I think we might be actually robbing it this time. More incoming fire, the overloaded AMS, more than capable of handling all that incoming. 10 shots only. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. Got a roughneck, like roughneck, 70? 65? Between 60 and 75 tons. So everything except the 60-ton weight class. And a Winston. I don't like Winstons. They tend to be quite dangerous and powerful and, you know, things that I don't enjoy. You can get all of the incoming fire. In fact, I should be able to attack ground you and just have you die because I have swarm missiles and thumpers. So let's go test his indirect, indiscriminate target profile.
Roger that.
Pair of shells, and then the scatters. Oh, it looks like it came off quite nicely. Good job on that one, Jester. Okay, we'll just walk you on forward in the Emperor. We need to remember to keep the Emperor back. It is not a brawler in its current configuration. It is an ultralight gyro. It was not built for that. We need to keep that in mind. Otherwise, the entire mech could explode, and that would be bad. So the ultralight gyro was put in there mostly because we didn't have anything else. But, was that TBMs? There were lots of TBMs. Oh, just look at that. How many missiles was that? 48 shot them all down. Did we reveal the target who decided to fire 48 missiles at me? Because that's actually rather concerning. Wasn't you, was it? I mean, it could have been. Oh, actually, no, it couldn't. That would have been 41 missiles. Who's got 48? Got more incoming, but the point defense on point as it does. Laying even more fire. Not a single connection, which is exactly what we're looking for. Oh, we have an entire unit of these hybrid carriers finally laying down a little bit of swarm ammunition in order to get through. And some artillery. Okay, so one of these lances is just a nightmare. Okay, so this may actually be a fight. Holy crap, what are they shooting? I want to see what we're dealing with because this is going to be fun. Alright, we got the thumper artillery emplacement with the twin thumpers. We've got a heavy sniper turret, probably the PPC. Oh, those must have been Calliopes. Interesting. Okay, hybrid carrier needs to die. Hybrid carrier needs to die. Really, that's the primaries. Shobot surprisingly did not break her gun, which really is truly surprising. I'm going to rush her on forward. We're going to be a little bit overly aggressive with the Axeman, if I'm completely honest, but it will get us some good sensor data. What's actually going on? The Winston, and yeah, you. Why do I say it like that? Because I keep thinking Overwatch whenever I think Winston. I'm going to see if I can shoot you down. Hey, good job. Alright, so she did manage to shoot down the warrior helicopter, which will free up a little bit more fire onto other things, such as you, my little darling. Obviously, I'm going to fire an area effect shell because, one, I'm close to another one, and two, I don't exactly have a great shot. Don't know if we killed it or not, but we're certainly getting along the way. Got to move into a little bit of a position where I've got some cover. I don't want to expose myself completely to the target. What do we got here? We are dealing with heavy alarm turret. Okay, so that's where the swarms came from. We do have to knock out these carriers, though. They are much too dangerous to be left alive. Shoot, I forgot to swap you for a pilot who can multi-target. You're almost dead, but really I need... Wait, who was that? Not you. It's after you guys. Okay, that's not something I want to deal with. Let's light it on fire.
I copy.
See how much this does. That's what I thought. So we have lit one of the vehicles on fire, which is great. I'm going to drop back the Vulture, put it in a little bit of cover. Howl can come on forward for some more direct fire shenanigans. After all, that's what she does. And that's what I wanted for the open side shot on you. Double tap. Gone. Okay, so we're starting to work our way through these carriers, which are incredibly dangerous in the right circumstances. We're just working to make sure that those circumstances never come to pass. Just slip in on here. Who's the person I have a direct fire? The Roughneck. He's a really boring Roughneck. You do need to be let on fire, so do you, but we need to knock out these carriers. That is goal numero uno, and I am going to hydro all of you. Burn. Completely torched. Good job. A little bit worried about this thumper turret, but I have to work on things as they come to me. We did overload the Onager mess. Just a little bit too much for the Mark II. Couldn't handle it. Hybrid carrier goes down. Hybrid carrier is gone. So we still have the thumper. We have the Winston. There is still also the Long Tom, which we put no pressure onto, which is going to suck. It's a lot of damage they're going to put out. It's basically, it's almost an AC-20. It's not as good, in my opinion, as the Arrow, because the Arrow is lighter, does as much damage under, guided weapon circumstances. And I've never actually seen alternative ammo for that Long Tom cannon. So it looks like the Marauder decided to fire its PPCs, which is not a bad decision. Those PPCs are deadly.
Leading you.
But he is apparently standing on fire too, which is lovely. You should have a target. Probably that Winston. Or the Thumper. So attempt to drop fire onto it. It's not going to be enough damage to really kill it. But I can get things sort of underway, I suppose. We're going to go for the whole blast onto it. 99.1% chance to hit. Shape charge, artillery, 124 damage. Go for a good attack. Knocked out most of that. That's not terrible at all. Walking on forward, keeping the cover. We don't want to fully expose ourselves just yet. We work bits and pieces. Jester is still up to go. He can probably knock out this cannon in its entirety. May even be able to knock out the Winston. Depends on how risky I want to get. So the Vultures take a little counterfire, but that's kind of to be expected. It's sort of far back, a little bit vulnerable to the incoming fire. It's one of the reasons I wanted to knock out their ability to go after us at a distance. So you in total have 84 health.
Standing by.
Right, and I can deal 75. So I'm going to have to utilize alternative methods to killing you. Roughneck, no. Winston, yes. No. Right, okay, so it is going to have to be both artillery shells. Let's multi-target then. And we will go for some on the Thumper. And then where is that Winston? There's the Winston. Alpha Bravo, shape charge on both. If I Warlord, does that help? Warlord on that, Warlord on that. It doesn't, so that's actually a bit of a waste of a Warlord if I'm completely honest. Yep, fire it away. Double tap the cannon. Ooh, looks like the first one took it out. I thought the shells landed at the same time. And the Winston, please die. Ooh, we got an ML15 explosion. It's actually bad because we wanted to take it attack. It is too powerful for its own good. Still, we're going to cook the Marauder. We're going to get most of that. That's my main interest. The Winston did manage to survive in the fire support category, which is less than ideal. We also have a couple of heavy support LRM turrets. I was kind of hoping the Winston would, explode if he moved through fire. Didn't end up quite working that way, but that's fine. Catapult, using its point defense, kicking on that integrated laser AMS, costs us tonnage, but you know what? It tends to be really effective. Axeman taking a little bit of long-range fire, but again, no real connection. The Axeman has enough defense. Some cannons as well. Ooh, they want my Axeman badly. I'm loving it because they haven't touched it. Finn and Coach are both up. The Catapult. Let's start getting you underway. You're going to have a line of sight on top of the Marauder. And we've probably activated a reinforcement lance. Yeah, or, support, whatever. So, show me the Marauder. Show me the Marauder under Inferno conditions. That's what I'm looking for. Any ECM problems? Weapon accuracy, sprinted, medium range moved. So no need for any of that. Let's light him up. Lots of little damage, but 195 heat is almost enough to rock it. The Vulture could actually strike with an incendiary round. I think I will go guided on you. Ooh, that Hellstorm turret probably needs to die. I'm going to double tap guided the... Do I want to do that? That seems like a bit of an overreaction. Show me that Hellstorm. Yeah, let's see if we can't pick some of this off. It won't be a kill because obviously we're not doing 240 damage, but it'll place it in a position where I can take care of it at my leisure. Which, always a good thing. Move up through the low ground right over there. Bring the Onager on forward. And can I get a multi-target? Potentially. Let's rush on into range and see what we're dealing with. Winston is an interesting backup, but my primary target is obviously the Marauder. And I will risk it for a biscuit. You get most of it. You're going to get one. Go Bravo. Hydra plasma cannon. Light him up. Oh, we got him with the plasma. So that'll be a cook right there. Oh, darn it. Also, didn't quite manage to kill the Winston.
Reporting. Critical hit.
Yeah, but he's not dead. I know I've said this before, but it's true. You must determine your success by how many people have exploded or not. You don't have to, I suppose. You could be an optimist. Determine your success by how much fun everybody had. Which we're having a lot of it, so Warlord it up and rock and roll. Hellstorm turret knocked out. We've only got the one long-range missile turret, which does have Inferno rounds, which is, not pleasant. I could hit the Winston pretty bad. Roughneck's also an option. You have not been prepped at all. Do I have anybody moving up that could take care of the Winston? Not in time. Let's go shape charge. Didn't kill it. Wow, I'm impressed actually. And you can move forward. You'll be in range of the Roughneck, but that's not the worst thing in the world. I think I'll mask it up. Let's activate the mask. At maximum speed, we shall fly. Full power. Full travel. Look at how fast it's trying to calculate the new... There we are. It has been calculated. You shall be stepped on. Goodbye. I don't need to bother fully overpowering it. Because that worked like a charm. Ah, melee mechs. Useful on specific occasions. Somebody actually... Ooh, ouch. Nailing me with an AC5. That's not okay. Somebody mentioned in one of the comments in the last video that melee mechs are divas because they must be cuddled. And you know what? That is honestly probably the perfect way of thinking of melee mechs.
Yes, Commander.
That in their very specific circumstances, they shine like nobody else. But until you get into those circumstances, dear Lord, are they just a handful.
Roger. Full speed.
Okay, good accuracy on both weapon systems. We will go for the full knockdown. Shape charge artillery. Shells going out. And there's the turret.
That turret.
So the turrets have been dealt with,
Yes,
which puts us down to just dealing with a single unknown. Somewhat sad, actually. Direct fire, Inferno. These are off. Yeah, a single solitary roughneck.
Engaging target.
And he's on fire.
Reporting critical hit.
Good luck. Shubot.
Good to go.
Shubot would absolutely annihilate this mech, and we all know it. Coach. Coach also theoretically can absolutely annihilate this mech, as we've, just recently seen. His arm is exposed, but I'm facing his front, which hopefully will work out in my favor. Infernos across the board. Light him on fire. Excellent. Enough heat has been dealt onto him that he now has to deal with that. His suffering shall power my mix for the next generation. And Death Crusade into Thanatos. We're just going to move him on up. Provide the cover and protection that we desire. We could start, trying to headcap him, but I think that might be a little bit brutal. Especially if we have far too much heavy firepower in order to try that. I will use the Mackie, I believe, in order to attempt that. I'm not even going to have Howl do it. Because the Mackie has 4 ER large lasers, and the 4 ER large lasers, under normal circumstances, can't, headcap a mech. However, in this very rare specific circumstance that we're dealing with, I'm going to drop Hydras on your head, because it's amusing to me. Just to see what happened. I shouldn't have done that.
Mech destroyed.
I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen. Okay, Emperor comes on forward.
On the move.
Emperor doesn't need to be on forward, but that's fine. Yeah, my plan was to have the Mackie, shoot at him with the 4 ER large lasers because he was at such low armor level, and being at that armor level should have made him vulnerable. And it didn't.
Commander?
So, a little less than ideal. You can run into the room. And you're done. Is that it?
Waiting for orders.
Is there no one else to face me? Well, I have no target, so they better come out soon or I'm gonna get bored. Yes, just run right on through. It's fine.
All on air.
So we kind of hold this base now. I think it's in my hands. I will give them a brief period of time to actually show up, and if they don't, I'm going to consider that victory. A little disappointing, I will admit, but you take what you can get. Turn off the mask, of course. We don't want the entire mech, detonating in a massive ball of fire. Or really, what happens is it breaks the legs. So she actually is wearing spiked boots. She is quite the aggressive person. And so those spiked boots, if the mask explodes, will explode, which is not good. The mask won't detonate itself, which is somewhat useful, but makes it safer than a supercharger, where if the supercharger fails, the whole thing blows up, and that can cause a pretty serious amount of damage considering it's stored in the center torso of your mech. So it can wreak havoc pretty gosh darn quickly. I think we've got it. Mackie slowly going forward. That's what I thought. Oh no, they're gonna show up right on top of me, are they? Hopefully not. The last time they did that, they wiped out my entire, well, one of my mechs, one of my best mechs, which that's kind of important to mention. The rack hammer was just so good. The firepower that was on display in such a mech was amazing. Twin rack 5, most efficient weapon of the game of the ballistics. So I've been going through RogueTech's most recent update 1.8 through their GitHub in order to create a bit of a spreadsheet detailing sort of what all of the weapon heats and tonnages and efficiencies are. And I finished the autocannons the other day. So they are interesting. Which actually makes me quite happy because based on the 1.8 numbers that I'm seeing, the quad shot tabletop damage autocannon 2s should actually be pretty perfectly slotting in there. So the basic idea is you take the 5 multiplier that is normally applied to damage in BattleTech from tabletop, and you apply that to the AC2, which means it only does 10 damage, which is terrible. How can you possibly use this gun? Well, then you combine that with the rules from a MechWarrior's Guide to Solaris 7, which allowed you to fight in action phases, which give weapons rates of fire. And I believe the AC2 is a 4-shot, so a 4-shot, 10 damage AC2 is actually pretty right in line with efficiency as the rest of the autoguns. It actually becomes kind of funny, actually, because in that situation, the Rack 2 fires 24 shots, and it's hilarious. I'm building together the list partially so I can present my, I guess, findings, but it's really more about my requests to the RogueTech team in the hopes that they will take it on. Alright, that's an interesting thing to steal. I will bring the catapult in nice and close, maybe, or maybe not so much. Yeah, I'll do that.
Double time.
Hi, I'm here to kill you both. You have cooler stuff, but you are more dangerous potentially. Inferno SRMs. There goes this rotor.
Frag the vehicle.
Good job. Death Crusade in the Thanatos. The Thanatos, not exactly normally known for direct fire very often, but that's purely because I just haven't done it. Direct fire, unfortunately can't even fire direct fire. That's unfortunate. Yeah, fire everything else. You've got pulse lasers and acid SRMs, so this ought to be great. There we go. That's the other part.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So we've managed to knock out the 2 Nidhogg gunships, which is lovely. What are you? You are a quick draw. I do not care about taking a quick draw intact. Not gonna lie. It's just reality. I will swing in around. Ooh, too close. I need to get my distance. There we go.
I copy.
Hi. Ooh, you're surprisingly hard to hit, I will admit. I will go Inferno. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Enjoy the heat. There you go. That'll help me, attempt to make the capture on the quick draw. And you can start running back over here. We'll get everything set up and then we'll barbecue. So, hopefully you're high enough armor to be able to handle what I'm about to shovel into your face. So, grit your teeth, bear it, and try to enjoy. You still managed to miss one of the plasmas, dude, but at least he cooked him. So I can't be too angry at him. Just a little bit angry. See if you can't find that Winston, because I want it dead before it can do anything too dangerous. Ah, what the heck, he's at full armor, right? Yeah. Well, he's not, but how much armor has he got? He got enough to survive that. Let's not be dumb as much as I want to.
Receiving you.
I mean, not be dumb. I walked into it, I'll just own it.
Moving to position.
Hi, buddy. Direct fire, shaped charge, not you, but in fact you. Okay, he's having a bad day. But he's not dead. This just kind of demonstrated that the mech was not designed for that sort of combat in mind. It really wasn't. Okay, let's do this. This is what I had planned last time. Aim for his face, you got 20%. You got 4 opportunities, make it happen. And you did get the headshot, you just didn't kill the pilot.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how you managed to do that, but I'll accept it for what it is. Yes, make sure that you're turning close enough to the Winston. Switch back over to Hydras. Cycle your weapons so you can shoot over hills. And barbecue. Okay, you are very badly damaged. Bail out of the mech, man. You want to be out of the mech. Thanatos could come in with a kill. It's entirely possible. So we will attempt to see if we can't shell him out. The accuracy is just terrible. It's actually pretty impressive. Yeah, I guess I have the high explosive it. And drop over here. Because we're hoping to hit him with splash damage.
Acknowledge.
Okay, jammer root. Engine destroyed. I don't know if that was a center torso or we just got lucky on crits. Either one is actually entirely possible and equally, I suppose, probable. Cook him.
Taking the shot.
Heat is something that won't harm me all that much. It'll take minimal splash damage on that.
Vehicle down.
So we reduce the amount of damage that we're taking and we maximize the amount of killing that we're doing. Lovely. Mission successful. So, demonstrating perfect excellence. Even when you don't have a target, you can utterly annihilate parts of your enemy if you bring enough artillery to the table. So we made 239 Seeples. Everybody's mostly untouched, however there is damage on quite a few mechs because danger close artillery was used a few too many times. There is the entire quick draw there. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so that is an option. Advanced AMS, of course, as well. ER Flamer Clans. I'll think about that. That's cannon. The MMO-15s are always a little bit tempting. I always like getting plasma cannons, but I have enough plasma cannons. But I want more. Okay, a whole bunch of internal combustions, XLs to sell, a few lights, which are still kind of useful. Flak is, I have 3 of them, so that's good. Indirect plus. I have 1, I could use another one. Gunnery support A and B, I have none of those, and none of those. I'll grab the A, and we'll hope for the B. I wonder who had it. Be interesting to actually find out. Another torso-mounted cockpit. Wait, who had the torso-mounted cockpit in the Warfare Suite Mark IIs? I'm trying to think of any of those mechs. They just weren't that good. Alright, I think that'll do it. Got a Marauder part to sell. A little bit of extra stuff. Snub Nose PPC, core to sell. Did not get the gunnery that I wanted, but that's kind of to be expected almost. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I did kind of hope for a little bit of the gunnery because the gunnery B allows me to get to a gunnery of 13. Because you get a rangefinder, a gunnery A, and a gunnery B, and that brings you up to 13 on the target, which is phenomenal. Oh shoot, I should have grabbed the B. Because I think I put the A in the Emperor, and he doesn't have a B, I think. But yeah, a 13 gunnery is really nice to have. It gets you quite nicely on the, self-destruct control chart. Also gives you a huge starting pool of how accurate you're going to be. And when that shrinks, well, it shrinks to normal levels in the space that normally would shrink to being completely unable to target anybody. So I'm pretty happy about that. 45,000 Seeples I'm a little less happy by, but I kind of knew that was going to be the case. Kind of bombarded my own people a little bit. We got a little bit too eager. Probably should have held the fire base a little bit more, but we wanted to get in close. So yeah, everybody's taking quite a bit of damage on this. We'll be able to plow through this in about 3-4 days. Oh wow, literally everybody took damage here. What the heck? My bad. Got through the Black Knight up top. We're going to cycle through the clock. Tick, tock, tick, stop. Okay, 12 days away. I'm good. Wait, actually, no, it's not done yet. Okay, now everybody's done. The Black Knight is done. Show me the mech bay. Is it completed? The Black Knight. It is completed. It has been fielded. Okay, it needs one thing. It needs a Bloodsport targeting computer. That's what it needs. But allow me to show you this beauty. That is a brand new Black Knight designed for maximum melee damage. And it is equipped, as you can see, with no less than 6 ER medium laser pirates, which, is plus, what, 6? No, plus 5 melee damage. So plus 30 from our start melee damage. We then equip an axe with a plus 65 melee damage and a hatchet with a plus 90 melee damage. Why the hatchet is more than the axe? Opting not to ask. It is equipped with Endo TSM, so when these medium lasers cook it up, it increases the damage by huge numbers. We're talking an additional plus 40% melee damage when active, plus 20% walking distance, plus 30% sprint distance. I may be trying to get a little bit too excited, but this is actually really cool. And, minus 25% structure. It's not as good as Endo Steel, period, but, I mean, it brings all these amazing additives to the equation. We are also equipped with an advanced AMS along with a double ton of ammo for that good point defense. I do understand that some people think that adding this form of AMS is quite dangerous. I kind of agree, and I would very much prefer to instead swap it out with a Pirate Laser AMS. Unfortunately, that would be too big to fit anywhere on this mech. So the advanced AMS will have to do for now. Internally, we have an Angel ECM for that signature reduction and defense. You'll notice the ECM GM reduces enemy character checks by 5. And I believe that also inverts if you switch over to ECCM, but that's... Oh, no. ECCM reduces by 6, which is just huge. So if I want to shut off people, which it can do, that's easy. Also put in an active probe because I really wanted to have some form of additional... some form of extra sensor systems. This gives us a plus 10% sight range, allows us to see a little bit longer so we can run into the enemy and crush them. And a C3 Slave, which Basically, the point of it is to remove the fog of war around us in order to allow other people in the lands to be able to see what's going on, more accurately target things. Also rounds it out with the gyro defense ++ in order to give us some extra maximum evasion, more evasion pips for movement, and +1 against getting hit anyway. Spiked uppers, lower melee ++s, and oh shoot, I forgot the booties. We have legt spiked boots. Und they are wunderhaft tuns. Oh, I already put the Clan XL engine in here. Shoot. I gotta figure out a way to get these booties in, because it is an additional 10% damage. You know, which is pretty huge. Oh shoot, I didn't realize that booties were also... Never mind. That's fine. We'll get them on here eventually at some point. I'm just not quite sure how. This mech is very full. But yeah, this will hopefully be a monster heavyweight champion of the world. Kind of looking forward to it. Fingers crossed that it turns out to be as good as I think it will be. We need to go to storage and get rid of the Marauder LT because we didn't take it, so it's not ours anymore. We are in the hole a little bit. I could sell the Kraken or the Avatar. I'm really only keeping the Avatar around for sentimental reasons because it was such a great mech and there's nothing wrong with it. The Kraken I just don't see us using. So it's not a terrible mech. It's got one ballistic in this torso. I don't know if it's right or left on the thing, and then 2 missiles in the other torso. You can actually fit that out with a MRM-40 or heavy MRM-40, which is very useful. He's got his 2 support hard points on his fists, so there's nothing special for AMS, and 5 energy hard points throughout the mech. I believe 2 are center torso, 1 on each hand, or 2 on one hand. But it's not all that special. I just don't know what to do with it. It seems so boring because we fielded lots of Atlases before. That's not a major concern of ours. So I'm vacillating back and forth about just getting rid of the darn thing. The King Crack has finally been built, and there was an option to do that. So maybe something will come along, and I'll think the Atlas is amazing. But as of right now, I kind of don't think that'll be the case. Alright, just checking the store, see if anything extra special awesome has managed to show up. It has not. Well, the light engine is interesting, but other than that, some patchwork materials, I'd love to buy them, but they're just too gosh darn expensive. Let's sell some of our own junk. Obviously, we must have some. Ballistics, AC2s. If the AC2 gets through with the rework that I'm going to be requesting soon, I will absolutely utilize them all over the place, just because it'll be interesting to see how effective it can be. And the numbers that I'm seeing compared to the rest of the autocannons in the 1.8 build of RogueTech, the quad shot 10 damage autocannon is actually pretty much in line with all of the rest. So, how is this? Oh, it's an area of effect cannon. That seems so stupid. Get rid of it. And the AC-20s. Because I'm not actually using anything that's not Ultra or LBX. Although, as I was looking through the GitHub, what I ended up finding out was that the LB-20X for the Inner Sphere weighs 12 tons. Which for some reason, like the actual tabletop the LBX AC-20 should be weighing 14 tons. The only autocannon that receives a weight savings from the LBX is the LBX-10. The rest of them are the same weight as their normal counterparts. So an LB-20 should be 14 tons, an LB-5 should be 8 tons, LB-2 should be 6 tons. Only the LB-10 is 11 tons versus the 12 tons of the normal gun. But how this weighs the same as an Inner Sphere AC-20 is ridiculous. This 12 tons is actually the weight of the LB-20X autocannon Clan, which the Clan version is 11 tons, which is lighter than what it should be, which is also throughout the entire thing. It's these little things that kind of annoy me. It's honestly not the biggest of deals, but like reading through it, I was losing my mind. Get rid of the mortars because we don't want it. The Rack 20, we don't have the ammo for it, but I'm keeping it. I also managed to pick up a normal silver bullet Gauss, not a pirate one. There it is, which should be interesting if I manage to field it. But yeah, Rotary Autocannon 10, absolutely we keep. Risk Rack 5s are fine, although, trying to cram 4 of them into something might be a little bit of a challenge. Sniper Artillery, yes, we keep. Ultra 5s. Clan Ultra 5s are amazing. They're one of the most efficient guns in the game. For autocannons, anyway. Lasers and missiles completely blow them all out of the water because lasers and missiles are broken as all hell. But I'll talk about that later at some point. Sell all of this autocannon 20 ammo. This is not only giving us money, but it's also reducing the amount of storage cost that we have. I don't need AC-20s. If you didn't come with an Ultra, I don't have any interest in you. Oh wow, 40 heat off an AC-20. Interesting. I still think it might be a little bit too aggressive to be utilized properly because it deals 40 damage to, or 60 damage to a target. So not sure if that's quite worth it. Whole bunch of ammunition Gauss because I'm a Gauss monger and I love it. Whole bunch of LBX autocannons because I love LBX autocannons. No machine guns. Machine guns are terrible and I think they're too dangerous to actually be used. Not using mortars either. Thank you. Come again. And keep the racks. Racks are good. Snipers is good. More sniper charge. Shape charge. And some UI camo, which is fine. Lasers. Oh boy. That'll be interesting. ER large lasers we keep. ER medium bright blooms versus bright bloom. I mean, one's broken, the other's not. Plus range bracket? No, that's garbage. I don't care. I don't need ER medium laser bright blooms. Normally ER medium lasers are fine-ish. I mean, they're not the worst thing in the world. They're only 6 heat more than their normal medium laser counterpart. It's not the worst thing in the world. Could be better, but yeah. ERPPC versus ERPPC. Obviously one is broken. I don't have any need to sell the broken one. We have a single clan ERPPC, which I guard jealously. The Magna is recall of 2. Reduced weight, increased recoil. Oh, it's for some reason 6 tons. I get it. The TIE Guards for the additional damage in order to be the same as clan ERPPCs. Unfortunately for much, well, 5 points hotter. It's not the worst thing, but again. The clan ERPPC is 6 tons. Diverse optics, medium lasers, are the ER smalls. Extended range with more heat, so no. No thank you in your diverse optics, but I don't need the heat. If I'm building a small mech, or a small laser mech, I don't want to do that. Is affected by lost tech. Okay, I suppose that's fine. Some flamers, a whole bunch of flamers, a ton of flamers. So since I have 12 flamer pluses, I have no need of normal flamers, now do I? So we can sell all of those. There's a pirate flamer in there as well, which is interesting at a plus, and some heavy flamers. Heavy PPCs I don't really envision myself using, but I'm going to keep them around. A couple of large pulse lasers, and the large improved heavy lasers, what I desperately need to mount onto a mech because they're cool. Probably actually mount them onto, right, the Marauder. Well, that might be an interesting, well, it's something I've been thinking about, but get rid of the light PPC. They're not good. They're not terrible. They're really not. Light PPCs in game are basically super long range medium lasers for, you know, PPC temperatures. But I have no interest in utilizing them. X pulses are heavy lasers, except heavier. And, you know, with an accuracy bonus, which is nice. Cam lasers, no thank you. I have 15 normal medium lasers, which I will probably sell all the other ones because I don't need range bracket increases if I'm bringing medium lasers. If I'm bringing medium lasers, I'm looking for a cheap, easy alternative. Minus 20% range. Reduce damage, reduce heat. That seems so terrible. No, thank you. And then medium laser. 15% increased damage for 23 for the heat. So it's plus 2 heat for 3 points of damage. Yeah, that's worth it. Medium pulses are not all that good, but I like them. I like the fact that I can fire multiple shots into the enemy and just watch them explode. Re-engineered small lasers we keep, obviously. Small numbers PPC. Okay, good with that category. Missiles. I think I should keep the ATM-9 pirates, but the problem is they're so heavily outweighed by the MMLs. Like, risk MMLs are so broken, and they got even more broken. The heat has been reduced across the board to bring them in line with the MML-10. Like, risk MMLs are so ungodly broken that it's... I don't even know if I'm going to play with RogueTech in the next version. Because it's like, what the hell? Why? Why would I do this? Get rid of all our LRMs because they're basically obsolete. ELRMs are super heavy. Heavy MRMs are the most amazing brokenly OP things as well. They make MRMs completely obsolete, which is kind of sad. Rocket packs, got to get rid of those. SRM4s, SRM6s, yeah, I'll never use them if I'm using MMLs, because MMLs are better in every single regard. That's the truth. They are. For Innersphere SRMs, there is no advantage to not taking MML. The next version is going to be worse. I am slowly accruing a collection of thunderbolts. I haven't told people this, but it's true. I could build another arrow mech. Do I have the arrows to do that with? No. I need to find more. Or preferably clan versions. Because clan arrows weigh 12 tons, which make them the same weight as... what's it called? The Thunderbolt 20. So the same weight as the Thunderbolt 20, but they're immune to AMS, and the guided missile mode allows it to do as much damage. Now, which one do you think you're going to take? With all the double tons, we don't really need nearly as much ammunition for the standards, because we'll probably use double tons. Incendiaries are so garbage. They're so terrible. They're just absolutely horrible. They're not even worth bringing. If you're not bringing Hydra, you didn't bring heat LRMs. That's the rule, unfortunately. Artemis, we keep. Chaff, we're never actually going to use. I kept having this image of me equipping mechs with LRM 5s, and it just never worked out. Someone has suggested that I put LRM 5s onto the Timberwolf, which I do like the idea of, but I don't think I can, pull it off properly. Narcs, LRM Sam, which is so useless. I'm going to keep it anyway. Swarm is not all that good. I'm going to sell all of it because I have improved Swarm. I may come to regret that. Tandem is actually not bad. I don't like Thunder. I don't like mining out the area that I know I'm going to be moving into, which is one of the reasons why I'm so against Thunder, because I want to move into that area. Why would I remove my ability to take ground? So we'll just get rid of all of our Thunders. Do I have improved MRM? 5 tons? Okay. So if you have improved MRM, don't use normal MRM, because improved MRM gives you the accuracy buff that you need. Some people can argue that improved MRM is slightly more easy to intercept by AMS, to which I respond. MRMs just overwhelm AMS 50% more likely, but it's not enough when you're shoveling 120 missiles down the throat. Incendiary MRMs are not bad. They're not as bad. They're basically almost the same as LRM ones, but you're shoveling more fire into them anyway. Holy crap, that's a lot of SRM ammo. Infernos we keep. Artemis, I don't use it, but I'm keeping it. Deadfires I use to a certain amount. I'd love to build a heavy tandem build. That would be actually probably a lot of fun. I should do that at some point. Just drive up to somebody, murder them completely through all of their armor. Let me try and build that. Pods are all good. Fire control systems. Flyer breath. Fluid guns that I won't use. The jackhammer we took off the Yenlo Wang. More pods. More narc launchers. Snow to PPC ×3 makes me happy. I have more tag arrows than I should. They should all be on mechs. But unfortunately I haven't taken the opportunity. And I'm not getting rid of my 17 tons of plasma ammo. You can't make me. More small jump jets. I am floating a little bit heavily high on jump jets. And I never use them, but that idea always is there that, hey, maybe this time you will use 15 jump jets in a build, and so you keep them around for that reason. 100 fusion core, never will use. 140, no thank you. 160, no. 180, you're getting a little bit better, but still no. 215, no. 220, no. 250, yes, your break-even point. And then every core above. I will keep the 300 core because the 300s tend to be pretty popular. Fusion cell engine, or fuel cell engine, no thank you. They're very cute, but no. It'll give me a nice amount of cash on that one. Internal combustion, we keep picking all these up, but no thank you. Inner sphere XL engine, which is garbage. I still have a single clan XL that I gotta put onto something. And when I put it onto something, it will be powerful. I believe in it. The Exchanger versus the Exchanger Plus. Interesting. Do I have Exchanger clans? Surprisingly, no. Interesting. That's actually a bit of a problem. Okay, so I will get rid of 2 Exchangers. Keep those. Exchanger Plus Plus. I will get rid of 1. Heat bank is fine. I've never used a heat bank, but hey, they're fine. I'll sell the damaged one. Heat sinks are... Single heat sinks are useless. I'm sorry, but they are. And double heat sinks in that number is also not all that useful to me. I will sell down to 10. You run into these things all the time. It's not rare anymore, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but it's the reality. that needing to use double heat sinks is not all that common thanks to a lot of the internal heat control. But at the same time, you tend to run into them a lot. Prototype double heat sinks, much rarer. Get your hands on them as fast as you can. Get rid of a single heat sink cooling because I'll never use it, and we will get rid of all of our internal combustions. We come out of that with 8,000. I haven't even sold the mech yet. Probably just going to keep all of this. I mean, I want more case too, but I can't. Cockpit smalls, I have no interest in utilizing them. They are terrible. They give you negatives to your accuracy, which you cannot afford. You could, but you'd fail. Sell the broken endosteel. We'll keep the other 3. Enhanced imaging is nice. So many wonderful targeting computers. Get rid of a couple of ballistics. Because I tend not to use these. They're just not all that good compared to other things like the autocannon one and the flak one. And, you know, things like the Gauss one. I gotta build a Gauss heavy mech because of that. 10% increase in Gauss rifle damage. That should not be ignored. But I have been. Shouldn't be. 4 standards. No, thank you. Get them out. Off the ship. We're doing spring cleaning today, it seems. Although some people have asked to see this end of the mercenary simulation. So I hope you're enjoying as we go through my massive list of things that I refuse to get rid of because I may need it someday. I5 jammers nobody ever needs. They're terrible. They remove your sensors. And anything that removes your sensors is probably a bad idea. Reinforced, remote sensors, sensor flight, sensor sentinel. I gotta put that on something. Like, the stats seem like it's really good. I mean, look at that. That's amazing. It takes up, you know, additional tonnage and is larger, but it might be worth it. Sensor tracker, of course, one of the most broken pieces of long-range weaponry in the game because of just the huge bonuses it gives. I don't really need 2 stealths. I'll take the 1. If I have another stealth, I'll probably get rid of that stealth entirely. Turret mounts, take them whenever you can. They're great. They turn torso weapons into deadly pieces of equipment. I will keep that just because it's a quick sell and it amuses me in honor of Glass. Alright, so we are up to 8.8 million sea bills, which is nice and comfy. I think it's navigation time then. So we are going to set a course currently on a 3.5 skull planet. Let's go higher. We crave more difficulty. Show me a 4 skull and above. Probably should go to the 4.5 skulls. But we're going to take this in step. We're going to make sure that we're facing a challenge that is reasonable. Although, you know, the 4.5 skull might actually be pretty reasonable. That could work, but they're all in enemy space. What if I went up to 4.5? To be bold. A little bit bold. As we slip up to 4.5 skull mission, what will we find? It's a Davian planet, and that's it. So the nearest one is 19 days travel away. To still be within our own realm. And the reason why I want to stay there is because of the shop. The mission priority shop is huge. Oh wait, no, that's in Dracona's Combine space. Ooh. Oh wait, so are these mine? I thought they were Davian. Oh. Oh, we have... It's a very subtle thread difference. Okay, I see. So the nearest one is actually 25 days away. So it's a month's travel to get to the nearest 4.5. Just for giggles, what's the nearest 5 skull? Just to figure it out. To see what I'm really dealing with. I'm not sure I would want to take multiple 5 skull missions in a row. I still have experimental mechs. They're all in Davian space. Although it looks like we're making a little bit of a battle for that one. Now, show me the 4s again. I think we had a couple of 4s within our own space. So that we could continue the pressure. But also keep that faction shop. Because that faction shop's so good. It's amazing. The 20-day trip. That's a 16-day trip. Yeah, let's take the 16-day trip. Off we go! Into the wild blue yonder. Well, black yonder, I suppose. Storage space is complete. Show me engineering. We have more upgrades to do. The final point of core drop weight maximum limit. Put us up to, yeah, just a few days. We'll have that fully maxed out. And that'll be our upper tier done. I'll probably start working on medical. Finish off medical, hit the training module, and that'll be an Argo. Which will be pretty nice. So run the clock. 6, 5, King Crack is about to be done. Yeah, recalibrate the thingy. Morale by 5. Yay. We lost a bit of money, but we have money. For once, we actually have money. That's great.
I wrapped up that job.
Ready to go over.
Alright, so King Crack is done. We had to pay a lot of money for it. I'm hoping King Crack is everything that I want it to be. Where are you, King Crack? The model doesn't give many hints as to what's actually going on here. And I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you it. Oh, but I'm going to leave it there. Alright, folks, I have been Turak. If you like what you've been seeing, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see notifications every single time I list some of these videos, press that little bell icon. Leave a comment. It's great for the algorithm. I love chatting with you guys. Make sure you join our Discord and join us for our streams, and I will see you all in the next episode.